the refuge of the defeated. Ravi's life had become an unfinished story, frayed at the edges and heavy with unspoken pain. Once, he had been that bright-eyed boy racing through the narrow lanes of East Delhi, cricket bat slung over his shoulder. Laughter ringing out as he celebrated every six with his friends under the scorching summer sun. His dreams had felt so close he would become a software engineer, lift his family out of their cramped two-room apartment, buy his mother a soft silk sari, and finally let his father rest instead of worrying about the next hospital bill. But life had other plans. Time had ground those dreams into dust. His father's long battle with cancer had broken the family's back. The once sturdy man now lay on a thin mattress, his body frail, face pale and etched with pain, oxygen tubes snaking across his chest. Medical bills had swallowed their savings. Every day brought new prescriptions, new tests, new fears. Ravi's mother carried the weight without complaint. In her mid-50s, she moved with quiet determination. Her faded blue cotton sari draped, paloo tucked, silver bangles clinking. Her hair streaked with grey, tied in a simple bun. She left home before dawn to stitch clothes for neighbors on an old sewing machine. Then cleaned houses in the nearby colony until her hands were raw. At night, she returned exhausted. Yet she still managed a gentle smile for Ravi, her eyes soft with unspoken faith. "Beta," she would say, lighting the evening lamp in front of their small home shrine. "God sees everything. He will set it right." But Ravi had stopped believing. 2 years after finishing his B.Tech, he had sent hundreds of resumes into the void. Countless interviews in sterile corporate offices, only to hear the same polite rejection. "We'll call you." Rejection emails piled up in his inbox until the screen blurred through tired eyes. He was 24 now, lean and slightly hunched from worry, his once bright face shadowed. In most days, he wore the same faded blue jeans and a plain grey t-shirt that hung loose on his frame. His sneakers scuffed from endless walks between metro stations. The friends who once dragged him out for late-night chai and dreams now replied with quick busy yard texts and vanished. At family weddings, relatives would glance at him, lower their voices, and turn away. Still jobless. Poor family, such a burden. The whispers followed him like shadows. Inside, a hollow ache grew. Nights stretched long. Ravi would sit alone on the rooftop of their 4-story building, a half-smoked cigarette burning between his fingers. Staring at the hazy Delhi skyline, the city lights flickered below like distant stars that had forgotten him. He wondered if he was worthless. Tears came unbidden. He wiped them away angrily, telling himself tomorrow would be different. But tomorrow never was. It was a bitterly cold November night. A thick fog had rolled in from the Yamuna, wrapping Delhi in a damp, freezing blanket. The temperature had dropped sharply. The wind howled gently between the water tanks. Inside the apartment, his father's labored breathing echoed faintly. His mother had finally collapsed into sleep on the thin floor mat, her sari still wrapped around her like a shield. Ravi slipped upstairs quietly, the metal door creaking in the silence. The rooftop was bathed in the pale, silvery light of a thin crescent moon peeking through the clouds. Streetlights cast long, lonely shadows across the concrete. The air smelled of wet earth and distant wood smoke. Ravi sat on the low parapet, knees drawn to his chest, his thin jacket barely keeping out the chill. Tears rolled down his cheeks, hot against the cold. His shoulders shook. "Arto." After a long, choking silence, he whispered into the night, voice raw and breaking. "God, if you're really there, help me. I'm finished. I've lost everything. I can't fight anymore. Just once. Please take my hand." These words dissolved into the fog. Exhausted, he curled up on the cold concrete and cried himself into a deep, dreamless sleep. The next morning, the winter sun rose soft and golden, cutting through the lingering mist and painting the rooftops in warm hues. Birds chirped faintly from the nearby neem tree. Ravi woke stiff and shivering, but something inside him felt strangely lighter, as if an invisible burden had been lifted. He climbed down the narrow stairs. His mother was in the tiny kitchen, the single bulb casting a warm yellow glow over her as she stirred tea on the gas stove. Steam rose gently. "Beta, your face looks tired. Didn't you sleep well?" she asked, concern in her eyes, adjusting her sorry pillow. Before Ravi could answer, his phone buzzed on the table, an unknown number. Normally, he ignored such calls, but today, something made him pick up. "Hello, is this Ravi Sharma?" "Yes, being Ravi. Your interview is scheduled for tomorrow at 11 a.m. at Shyam Enterprises. The address is in Noida Sector 62. You have the details?" Ravi's heart skipped. "But I never applied to your company." A soft, knowing chuckle came from the other end. "Your profile reached us. Just come on time. We'll be waiting." The line went dead. Ravi stood frozen, bone still pressed to his ear. A whirlwind of fear, hope, and disbelief surged through him, he told his mother. Her eyes filled with tears as she clutched the edge of her sari. "See, Beta. God heard you. Go! Get ready." The next morning dawned crisp and clear. Delhi's winter sun glittered off the metro tracks as Ravi traveled to Noida. He had worn his best remaining clothes: a crisp white shirt, dark trousers, and polished black shoes that still carried the faint scuff of job hunting days. His hair was neatly combed, though his hands trembled slightly with nerves. The industrial area buzzed with life. Trucks rumbling past, employees hurrying through gates. Ravi reached the address and stopped dead at the entrance, above the tall glass and steel gate. Bold, illuminated letters gleamed in the sunlight. "The refuge of the defeated, Hatushyam Baba Shyam Enterprises," below it, in smaller, elegant script, "where the broken find their strength." Ravi's breath caught. The words from his desperate prayer the night before echoed in his mind. "I've lost everything." Tears stung his eyes instantly. His knees felt weak. For a long moment, he simply stood there. The bustling traffic fading into background noise, the winter breeze gently brushing his face. Shawar, a neat corporate salwar kameez in soft cream. Ravi Sharma. Third floor HR panel is expecting you. The interview room was bright, with large windows letting in natural daylight. 3 professionals sat behind a polished table. The HR head in a sharp navy suit, a middle-aged woman in a formal blouse and sari, and a young technical lead in a checked shirt. Questions flowed: technical, behavioral, past projects. Strangely, Ravi's answers came easily, confidently, as if guided. At the end, the HR head leaned forward with a warm smile. "Ravi, your profile is exactly what we need. We're offering you the software developer position, 8.5 lakh per annum. You can join tomorrow. Any concerns?" Ravi blinked, stunned. "Sir, I didn't even apply." "Oh." The HR head slid a file across the table. Inside was Ravi's resume and a small handwritten note. "Give this young man a chance. He has lost hope. Sometimes opportunities find you," the man said gently. "Just say yes." Ravi's eyes brimmed. "Yes, I accept." Winnie stepped out of the building. The afternoon sun bathed everything in golden light. The sign above the gate seemed to shimmer. Tear. He looked up at the clear blue sky, tears of gratitude flowing freely now. Not pain. "Thank you," he whispered, voice thick. "Shyam Baba, you really held my hand. I wasn't defeated after all. You showed me the way." From that day, Ravi's life slowly transformed. The first salary cleared the mounting medical bills. His father's treatment improved under better doctors. Color slowly returned to the older man's face. His mother no longer had to work outside. She stayed home, cooking warm meals. Her sari now brighter, her smile genuine and relaxed. Laughter returned to the small apartment. Ravi stood taller, his eyes regaining their old spark. But the deepest change was inside him. Whenever a deadline loomed at work, or a team conflict arose, or worry crept back, Ravi no longer panicked. He would step onto the office balcony during lunch, close his eyes for a moment, and remember, "Baba, you are here. What is there to fear?" He began sharing his story quietly with the nervous new intern, with the anxious neighbor boys still hunting jobs, even with strangers at the local temple. Every time he ended the same way, when the whole world walks away and every door slams shut, don't lose heart. An unseen hand will reach out. That power, Shyam Baba's power, never abandons those who call upon him. 1 year later, Ravi had been promoted to team lead. His younger brother's education was now fully supported. His father could walk short distances again, leaning on a cane but smiling. One quiet evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the sky in orange and pink, Ravi visited the Grand Katushyam Baba temple. There was thick with the fragrance of incense and fresh marigolds. Devotees thronged the courtyard, their voices rising in rhythmic bhajans, Shyam, Shyam, echoing off the ornate pillars. Ravi, dressed in a simple cream kurta and jeans, bowed his head at the sanctum golden light of oil lamps flickering across his peaceful face. "Baba," he murmured, "I am no longer lost. You taught me that real defeat is only when we stop believing in ourselves. You gave me back my faith." That night, back home, he opened his diary under the soft glow of the bedside lamp and wrote, 2. Life often feels over when everything collapses. But those moments are only the beginning of a new chapter. When we break completely, that is when the divine hand lifts us. For me, that hand belonged to Shyam Baba. On his office desk now stood a small framed photograph of Katu Shyam Baba. The words, "The refuge of the defeated," inscribed beneath. Whenever a new young man joined the team looking lost and anxious, Ravi would share his story with a gentle smile. "Don't be afraid," he would say. "If you feel you've truly lost, Shyam Baba will become your refuge." And every listener would feel a quiet warmth in their chest, whispering the same words in their heart. Jai Shri Shyam.